Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. A few of you have been asking, obviously, what my initial reactions are. If you did miss, obviously, the vertical stream, there wasn't actually a horizontal stream to come out in terms of, obviously, Pokemon Legends CA. Um, Look, I, we'll get into it. I'll explain it as we're going through. Personally, I do think it looks a lot like Scarlet and Violet, and I do think the new mechanic could be interesting if the quality of the game runs smoothly. If the quality of the game does not run smoothly, I feel like it's going to be so clunky, buggy. Look at the situation we have with Scarlet and Violet. You know, Sword and Shield, like, I know the game had a lot of dialogue and stuff like that, but overall, I enjoyed the quality of Sword and Shield. Same with obviously Legends Arceus. Look, I'm not saying this game's going to be bad, but from what you see in the trailer, I know a lot of you lot are going to meat grind it. I get it. You know, you'd be like, yeah, but it looks stunning. But they're just art pictures, man. Like, if they're taking off the Switch 2, okay, cool. If they're taking off the standard Switch, okay, cool. But until, like, I know they're saying this isn't the final product. I get that. But from what it looks so fucking gammy, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll explain what I mean.
Pokemon Legends ZA is
Look,
a new title.
Straight off the bat, yeah. Obviously, they're panned down. Can you honestly tell me that these builders do not look pixelated? Like, I know it's not the final product, but if I was watching, obviously, a gameplay, let's say they're panned down and this is what I'm actually looking at and I'm running through streets and stuff. Did they do that? Did they make it all in one area because there wasn't going to be like a massive transition between zones where they would have to load in frames? I don't know. But my first assumption of seeing this is, fuck, this looks very similar to Scarlet and Violet. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same, but the quality of it. And you lot might be like, yeah, but Pokemon's Pokemon. I don't care about the quality of the game. I do. I grew up on Pokemon from Yellow, Red, and Blue. You know, I played every single Pokemon game ever to release other than Sun and Moon. Too much dialogue at the start of the game. But I miss the days when you had a rival and it was just like occasionally you'd face off you against your rival and you know, obviously I reference more gold, silver, crystal here. You know, you had your rival, you introduced, you battled him because he stole a Pokemon and stuff like that. But now it's all about best friends and pals, and all I think of is hop fucking waving like a bloody maniac. Then you had obviously that other girl, I don't know, a bloody Nimona, I think her name was, and she was addicted to dueling yet. It was like, fucking hell. Look, I get you got a passion for Pokemon battling, but back the fuck up, man. But yeah, I do miss the original Pokemon games where you would literally start the game, you'd run up the top, Oak would come out and get you, take you to get your Pokemon, you'd get his parcel, go back down, there's your Pokeballs and Pokedex, bam, story begins. I miss that stuff. And one thing, for the budget that Pokemon has, voice acting should be a thing. It should exist. In Fire Emblem, in obviously Zelda, stuff like that. You have voice acting. Why is Pokemon any different? This is a big dollar, multi-billion, whatever the fuck you want to call it, company. You know, if they put all their resources in chasing after Power World, which Power World smashed it. Look, I get you lot are gonna be like, yeah, but they use AI generated pictures. They use this. They copy different Pokemon. I don't give a fuck. One, they provided dialogue. They gave us a better Pokemon game than Pokemon themselves. But yeah, you know, that's a different story.
Title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumio City.
But just, yeah, I can't get over the buildings, man. They look so fucking grainy. If that is what the artwork's going to look like in the final product, Jesus Christ.
The largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful.
Look, I'm not going to say it's going to be too bad. I don't think it's going to be like, I'm not going to say the game's going to be absolute trash. But I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be really fucking boring in terms of like location. Like normally you could venture through, like obviously, especially in Sword and Shield and stuff, you can go over. Even in the DLC, they provide us like a winter location, obviously, whatever. But yeah, I can't. What was it? Isle of Armor and something of Tundra, Crown of Tundra, I think it was. It's been a while.
Vistas. These days, Lumios is undergoing a high.
Look, don't get me wrong. I keep thinking Team Galactic. I know it's not Team Galactic, but every time I see this symbol, they're obviously going to be the big dollar company. I wonder if they're representing the Pokemon company. You know what I mean? But if we're going to flick back, look, obviously I could have played through it, but I've already seen it all. But I just want to go through it like at a slower pace. Obviously we've got our evolutions as well. Pokemon Center, I'm assuming the Pokemart's probably going to be around the corner as well. Actually, it might be built into one, considering the Pokemart symbol and the Pokemon Center symbol are above the actual thing. So I'm wondering if they're all combined into one.
These days, Lumio
At first, I thought, oh, fuck's sake, the routes have been dumbed down. The only thing I have yet is going to make me... If you ever play Dynasty Warriors used to have zones where you would obviously dominate one zone, and then you can move to the next zone and stuff like that. I'm hoping that the Route 1 is like, obviously you start the game, Route 1's here. It's just, from what we get to in a minute, it feels like there's going to be 3 Pokemon in one route, and that's it. It looks pretty... I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, if they get to Route 26 or 42, for example, is there going to be a Salamence flying through the town or some shit? You know? We already know Bagon's in the game.
Lumios is undergoing a
You obviously got the Patrat.
high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city.
But look, oh my god, let's do alright. Look at this fucking... Look. I'm going to be having Bagon regardless anyway, yeah? And I obviously am a big fan of Larvitar as well. But can we just talk about... Look, I know it's not the final product. Stop grilling me. But look how grainy the walls... The walls shouldn't be that grainy. If this game looked that visually stunning, I would be bending over backwards for it. I'd be meat grinding it as well.
City that people and
I just don't want another shit quality Pokemon game, man.
Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner. Chikorita.
I'm going to be honest, starters are shit. Starters are dead. They could have spiced it up so much more. They could have gave us some proper variety here, you know.
Tepig, and Totodile. You'll choose one.
I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to admit 96% of people are going to go Totodile. I'll probably go... Obviously, I'm probably going to go Totodile, but I wouldn't mind going Chikorita solely for the fact we did the Pokemon Coliseum randomizer Nuzlocke. Meganium absolutely bodied it.
One of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City.
Well, I'm hoping that all of our Pokemon follow us. I feel like that'd be pretty cool, but yeah.
And its inhabitants. Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter.
I don't know. I fucking hate this forced character bollock shit, man. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's AZ, 3,000 years old, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't care for any of these characters. I couldn't give a shit. I just want to get my Pokedex, get some Pokeballs, and catch my fucking Pokemon. You know.
Encounter.
Like, don't get me wrong, if you can include shit like this, make it a co-op experience.
When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartic
Inc. Artico. Do you reckon... Alright, look, my first assumption is Quagsire and Articuno. You know.
Inc. You'll become acquainted with...
Wait, imagine that they had an Articuno with a Mega Evolution and no one suspected it.
Company CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny. The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer.
AZ's definitely a bloody serial killer, isn't he?
To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones.
They just look bland. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, a randomizer would be fucking amazing for this. But look how dead these Pokemon are. Fletch, like, I know we can get Talonflame, is somewhat okay. Boonery, I don't want a Diggsby. Scatterbug, whatever the fuck this one's called. Just, I think that's the one thing. Like, when you've played Nuzlocke, I feel like Nuzlocke's ruin your experience of Pokemon games because it's just like, you're so used to going up against a trainer that I will have like a Garchomp or like some really terrifying, and then you're there and you're just like, and then in a official Pokemon game, you go up against them and they've got a Mightyena. Not saying Mightyena's bad, it was just the first Pokemon that come to my head, but obviously most of the time they have dark types.
These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
Right, look how bland. Look, oh look. Oh, so, what? Okay. Oh shit. Oh, this is gonna be so shit. Look, man, I'm hoping I really enjoy this, but looking at the radius of Route 1, look how small it is. I'm assuming that dude at the back there, yeah. I don't know if my mouse is on the screen. It's not. Right, give me a minute. Let me just capture cursor. There you go. Right, so as you can see here, yeah, this dude here, he's obviously a Pokemon trainer. You're telling me on Route 1, all you get is a shitty Boonery, a Fletchling. I'm assuming, I don't fucking know. I just don't think. The fact that this road here is literally Route 1, it doesn't make sense why there's a car here. Like, yeah, not being funny, but if you park like that, you'd get absolutely bodied. But it just looks so empty. Don't get me wrong. I think this is going to be worse than Legends Arceus, only because Arceus was massively open wide. You can go wherever the fuck you wanted. I'm not saying you can't do that here, but if you're stuck in city bound, what's the point?
Of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball.
Look, I'm trying to be positive, but I will still stand by what I said, that this game looks like a cheap rip-off. No, this looks like it would be a mobile game. You know when you get adverts for like mobile games that are cheap rip-offs of Pokemon, this is what this looks like. A cheap rip-off of Pokemon, but it is Pokemon. It's just, yeah. But look, it just goes to show where the segmented zones are. So that would be like, let's say, like this is Route 6. I'm assuming that's probably going to be like Route 5 and you walk over maybe.
A hard time catching one. Have one of your Pokemon use it.
Just look how shit it is. Look, I'm trying to be a bit fucking positive-minded about this, but the quality of the game doesn't look the best. The encounters look very empty. I just feel like this game looks soulless. It looks so lifeless, man.
Its moves to weaken the target.
They would have been better making a Pokemon Coliseum.
Making it easier to catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles.
I genuinely think this game is only designed in the way it is. I don't think they give a shit about how bland the quality of it and all of that is. I think all they care about is how the reactions to the new battle mechanics will be and whether they'll implement it into future games. Because I get it, I do. But at this point, they could have just made it like Pokken. Really. If you ever play Pokken, it's basically the Pokemon Tekken in a sense. But it was really fucking cool and really good. The quality of it was absolutely pristine. I don't know what it is with games nowadays going downhill, but yeah.
Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect.
Wait till I whip out a Pokemon knowing the move Guillotine, mate. I'm going to hit that shit so easy.
So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand.
It just reminds me of Pokemon Unite. And I know you lot are probably like, bro, just watch the fucking video. And it's like, no. But yeah, you got Stealth Rock obviously triggering off, which I just think is somewhat okay, but I'm more excited for Pokemon Champions, personally.
Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks.
Like this. I know it's not the final product once more, but the design on this, obviously, Pyro, the Onyx textures are whack. It just looks grainy as fuck, man. Like, for a game that's been in production for 3 years as well, it's disappointing. They spent all that time going after Power World, knowing Power World made an absolute firecracker. The only thing missing from that is crossplay. And Pokemon spent 3 years to come up with this shit.
Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move. What's more, Certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution.
The thing is, them not introducing or showing us at least one new Mega, I don't think they've done much on the game. Like, obviously, they've clearly made somewhat of it, but is it just story driven? Is there going to be gym leaders? Obviously, I know that obviously. I don't remember much from Pokemon Legends Arceus, to be honest. I do remember that when you fought that bloke, he had the Giratina, which was really cool, and then you transitioned into a second boss fight. I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that, I don't actually remember. I think that all I remember is there being fucking tons of dialogue and just being pissed off with the game. I want to play the fucking game, not spend 4 hours watching myself press A. If that's the case, we may as well bring traditional Pokemon battling back.
Resonates with the Megastone held by their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor.
I've just noticed as well, they've got this C plus as well. Once they've megaed, they get a C plus type thing. Obviously, the mega symbol's down in the bottom right corner, which is obviously was that delay thing. I don't know. I honestly, as much as I'm saying what I am about this game, I want it to do well. I do. And I really want them to prove me wrong and have it slap me in the face. But I am very anxious, and I am putting myself in a position where I know I'm convincing myself this game's going to be fucking awful. Just on a quality standard. I don't know. People are trying to convince me that it's going to be good, but I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but it's just, when you look at when you look at newer Switch games as well, they're incredible. The quality, the visual presentation, it's just, Pokemon, it's just like it don't give a shit anymore. It's like it lost its passion for the game. Although, Champions does look like a banger.
As Lumiose continues its transformation into a city that belongs...
I tell you what, I remember clocking, obviously, the Gyarados side. I was saying that about in the stream. I said, that is a good thing. If they can introduce the way
as Lumiose
these Pokemon, like, share, like, facial expressions. I feel like they've just added all this shit Pokemon, man. Obviously, I know Bagon and, obviously, Larvitar, they'll be solid.
Into
yeah,
a city that...
the personality of a Pokemon means everything. At least you can kind of relate to it and stuff, but yeah.
Belongs to both people and Pokemon? Who knows?
Because obviously this is the map, yeah. And let's say hypothetically, I don't know, let's say you start here. It looks massive, I ain't gonna lie. But then also, I don't want it to just be shitty streets, and for 17 routes, I'm fighting Fletchling, a fucking Boonery. It's not even Boonery, is it? Have I been calling it Boonery? I don't think it is Boonery, is it? I think I've been calling that Pokemon the wrong name the whole time. Because that's the Diggsby pre-evolution. What's Lopunny's pre-evolution called?
What kinds of encounters and...
I can't remember. Obviously the room. There's some newspaper articles on the floor, blah, 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 etc. Obviously, there must have been some... I reckon it's like some underground fucking business. Because, I'm not being funny, look, you've got the map there. You've got locations, pinpoints, obviously, of notes. Yeah.
Experiences will await you.
Obviously, Zygarde with the slime. It's funny hearing people react to, like, what this is, because they've never played, obviously, the previous games, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I think if the quality of this is a banger, I think it'll be good.
Pokemon Legends ZA. Coming late 2025.
Look, I have never deep dived so much in my life. I've spent 20 minutes talking about a 3-minute trailer. But you guys asked, and you shall receive my honest reviews. But look, it says not. Look, this goes to show the massive difference. Yeah, I know it says not actual game footage, but if they made the cutscenes and the quality they made this cutscene right now, it would bang. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts and opinions on the game. Look, I hope it does well. I've already passed up on obviously the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh because it looks like a fucking waste of money. £50, £55, whatever it is, for some classic old games. Fuck that shit. One game having multiplayer. Pfft, no way. Give me the PlayStation port and I'll consider buying it for 50 quid. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an honest man, and I'm not under this some sort of payroll. And even if they obviously wanted to sponsor me, I'm still gonna tell them straight that this is the way I view of it. I think the quality of it looks a little bit stingy and looks shit. And I have come from nothing. So even if they didn't sponsor me, I don't lose anything. And if they did sponsor me, then I obviously have gained something, but I also will lose it because of my honest opinions. At the end of the day, if the game's shit, the game's shit. I ain't gonna lie to you all. Well, enjoy. Peace.